So, we just got our first look at the brand new Superman movie. Yes, this is, of course, James Gunn's Superman, which at one point was called Superman Legacy. They changed the title because why does it need a subtitle? But this is going to be the first movie in the brand new DCU, essentially the MCU, but for DC. James Gunn's rebooted DC Universe, rebooting the Snyderverse, that a lot of people didn't really want to see rebooted. But hey, it's what's happening. This is James Gunn's new vision for a interconnected DC universe between movies, television, video games, all that stuff, and this is supposed to be the launching point. Now, there's been a lot of excitement for this trailer and for this movie in general because nobody really knows what to expect. We haven't seen this new DC universe. It's a completely rebooted Superman. Over the last, 20 years, the only real Superman we've gotten on the big screen is, of course, Henry Cavill and Snyder's depiction in Man of Steel and the Justice League movies, which is a very sort of specific Snyder-type take on that character. It's been a very long time since we've had a sort of lighter comic book accurate a version of Superman, of course, unless you count Superman and Lois, the amazing TV show that I recommend everybody go watch on the CW. But people were very, very interested to see what James Gunn's take's going to be on this, because James Gunn obviously is famous for making Marvel comic book movies and sort of these lighter comedic films. You have the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and then, of course, he went to DC to make the Suicide Squad film that is very similar in tone. Now, how do you take that tone and bring it into Superman in a way that doesn't alienate fans that want this more serious epic drama set in the Superman world, that don't just want Superman being super goofy and everything around Superman being goofy, that kind of want a balance of epic, amazing superhero, just greatness, along with some fun Superman comedy? Well, we got a little bit of an answer here. We got a very interesting trailer that I think does its job at getting you sort of excited for the film, but I do have some concerns with the trailer. My first main concern, and it's my concern with this whole DC universe before I even mention anything about the trailer, is James Gunn himself. I love James Gunn. I think he is a really solid filmmaker. I feel a little alienated as a fan of DC when this guy comes in and he says, we're going to reboot the whole universe. We're going to start from scratch. Everything, blank slate, new characters, new actors, everything is new. Except for my shit. Yeah, my shit, the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, all that stuff is canon. It's staying because that's what the fans really loved about the old DC universe. Henry Cavill? Fuck you, Henry Cavill. We don't want you anymore. We're gonna get this guy who looks exactly like Henry Cavill to play Superman. It's just bizarre. All respect to David Corenswet, but we love Henry Cavill, and I am a massive fan of Man of Steel, so getting me excited for this version of Superman is going to be hard just because I am a big Snyder fan, although some of those movies I don't love. I love Man of Steel, I love Henry Cavill, and I really wanted to see more of that. In saying that, this looks really cool. You have this lighter sort of James Gunn-y take on the character from this trailer, but it still seems to be a little bit epic on the bigger scale vibe of superhero movies. You have the music, which is that classic score from the Christopher Reeve Superman films, but just added this Hans Zimmer-y feel to it, which I dig. Would I like an original score? Yeah, kind of. And of course, the Man of Steel score by Hans Zimmer is amazing. So I would have liked something new, but it works. David Corenswet, yeah, he looks like Superman, and I think he has the acting chops to pull off a more complex version of this character than maybe we expect, and maybe add some of that fun and childlike vibe that maybe Henry Cavill's Superman lacked in a way. Rachel Brosnahan is playing Lois Lane. We don't get to see too much of her in the trailer, but I'm sure she'll be fine. And then Nicholas Hoult is playing Lex Luthor, who we get a bunch of shots with in this trailer, and yeah, he's playing Agent 47 from Hitman, and I'm here for it. Lex Luthor's an awesome character, and we haven't really gotten a good version of him in a while. Of course, you had Jesse Eisenberg playing the Riddler version of Lex Luthor, which I actually kind of dug, but I know most people hated, and of course, it's not really Lex Luthor, the character that he at least played. So it's been quite a while, and I think Nick Hoult is going to absolutely kill it. He's an amazing actor, and he looks good in this trailer. Just Luthor Corp? It's supposed to be Lex Corp? I know there's going to be, some comic book nerd in the comment section. It's like, well, actually, in 1956, they called it Luthor Corp, the first ever edition of Superman. Go fuck yourself. It's stupid. Just call it Lex Corp. It sounds better. You also get looks in this trailer at some of the other, I guess, Justice Society members, or Justice League-ish, that are not Justice League members. You have, a Green Lantern, played by, of course, Nathan Drake, aka Nathan Fillion, who never played Nathan Drake because Sony's stupid, and they were like, hey, we need to get the guy that plays Spider-Man to play Nathan Drake, even though Nathan Fillion literally is Nathan Drake. They based the character off of the look of Nathan Fillion, but no, let's cast Tom Holland, the Spider-Man guy, because it might make us some more money, even though Nathan Fillion literally is Nathan Drake. And then James Gunn was like, let's put a wig on Nathan Fillion and call him a Green Lantern, so he's in this movie. Isabel Merced is playing Hawkgirl. She's going to be in everything next year, The Last of Us, this, she's just all over the place at the moment. You have Mr. Terrific, who's apparently playing a bigger role. Apparently Ultraman is going to be in this movie, or some version of Bizarro as the villain. You have these gigantic monsters, which I don't really dig, you know, bring Superman back to the big screen. It's like, alright, what are we going to do? What are the villains? Big CGI monsters! Like, I just hate it. I mean, of course, a Superman movie is going to be a big CGI fest. How do you do Superman without that? But just big, gigantic CGI monsters and a big gulp of CGI coloring, whatever that ball thing is that's just shooting lasers at everything. It's a little much for me. And by the way, remember when that poster came out and people were complaining as Superman sitting there putting on his boots, taking his sweet-ass time as that thing is in the background just blowing up freaking Metropolis? Well, this trailer's not going to do those people any favors because that thing is blowing up Metropolis and this dude is making out with Lois Lane. Might want to put some pep in your step, Superman. People are dying. Oh, and Crypto. Yeah, there's Crypto, the dog that has Superman powers. I don't know. It's a little goofy for my taste, but hey, we'll see how it plays out and how they explain it. Listen, I'm open-minded about this movie. Yet again, I'm the biggest fan of Man of Steel. I just think Man of Steel, in my opinion, I know it's a very divisive movie. Everybody has their opinion on it. Some people love it. Some people absolutely despise it. But for me, it's like the perfect Superman movie. It is my favorite Superman movie. It's one of my favorite comic book movies because it's a movie that took Superman and it kind of imagined, what if this was a real person? What if this was a person existing in our world? How would you handle this idea of having to become this larger-than-life hero and reveal yourself to the world when you're this dude who just kind of wanted to be a regular human. You just wanted to be a dude, but unfortunately you're not. And it's this sacrifice meets this expectation of saving people and like all this great stuff. And I just thought it was a beautiful movie with an incredible villain, amazing score, great action sequences, and it's just a hard thing to top. And I think we all, as DC fans, kind of wanted a sequel to that. We wanted that, and James Gunn, for one reason or another, said, no, we're going to do a fresh restart. And because of that, there's a lot of, like, uneasiness going into it, especially because we know the types of movies James Gunn makes. This trailer definitely calmed the nerves a little bit. It got me a little more excited for this, but I'm still weary going into this film. I hope to God that James Gunn was right and doing this brand new reset of Superman was the right idea. I hope it makes a lot of money. I hope we don't have a situation where this bombs or critics absolutely hate it and the DCU fails, and then 5 years from now we get that shitty Superman versus Black Adam movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Henry Cavill. I think that could happen. Or maybe they'll just let Zack Snyder make the last 2 Justice League films. That would be cool too. So what do you guys think of the Superman trailer? Let me know down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.